All right. Brian Palavai Run Far here with Cameron Clayton after second place finish here at Lake Sonoma.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good?
Feels great. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a good day out there.
Been trying to catch you after your great third place finish at North Face Endurance Challenge last year, and wanted to talk to you before this race, but it didn't work out timing wise.
Yeah, it was a busy schedule.
But so I'm glad to chat with you today. Before diving into today's race, would love to hear a little bit about your running background. Some of the iRunFar followers might not know that much about that.
Sure. I ran for CU. I'm 24 now, so I'm a year out of college. I ran cross country, track and field there, steeplechase, that kind of gig, and then also in high school, the classic cross country, track and field. So it's pretty streamlined from high school track and field. Ran at CU, had a great time there, and then decided to jump into some trail and ultra racing.
What drew you to trail and ultra stuff?
My roommate, Ted Howard, actually, right out of college, I had a huge quad contusion, and so I had to spend 6 weeks on the couch. He was like, "Hey, I'm doing this race in September called Run Rabbit. You should totally come and join me." And I was like, "All right, you know what? Why not? I'm not doing anything else." And so he got me into it, which I'm super grateful for because apparently I can run pretty well at an ultra distance.
Mm-hmm.
And just getting to know everyone's within the community and my team now. It's just been a phenomenal experience, and I really owe it to him. And that's how I got into it.
So it's sort of a chance invitation from somebody who was in college at the time, which is...
Yeah, and he was doing ultras, so he took 5th at Silver Rush last year.
Okay.
The Leadville Silver Rush.
Yeah, 50 mile up there.
I think that's one of his better performances, and he has a really fast 50K as well. And he's actually thinking about getting back into it this fall at Pagosa.
Gotcha.
In the fall, so...
Well, that's pretty cool. Did you, going through high school and in your college career, were you drawn to the trails, or was it totally,
I grew up in Boulder, Colorado-esque, and we have a phenomenal system of trails out there. And so I was growing up running in Mesa Trail, and I've had really great coaches throughout my career, like people from Kirk Pfeiffer to Mark Wetmore. And just growing up, they had a great knowledge of the area. And so I've always done kind of cool trail stuff with some road work and track work.
Well, yeah, that stuff too. But you had exposure to the trail stuff, which a lot of high school and college runners don't necessarily have.
Okay, in that case, yes, I had a lot of exposure to it. It was half my runs, training runs every day.
That's phenomenal background there.
Yeah.
So it probably made the transition to the trail aspect of the ultras a little bit easier. What have you found to be some of the the challenges in getting to transition from a 8K, 10K background into the ultra distance?
Let's see. Right now I've been training alone, so that's getting a little lonely. That's been a little challenging. That's the hardest thing this winter. So I got to change that up because there's plenty of teams out in Boulder to
You're in Boulder.
Yeah, exactly. It's laziness on my part more than anything else. Eating a lot, quelling. So I race and I eat a lot when I race, and your stomach totally gets way more upset. And I'm coming from doing 3 or 4 years of 20 milers on every weekend without eating anything, and just at a higher tempo, so it's 2 hours for a long run.
Yeah.
And today, the first 25 felt amazing. I didn't think I was pushing it or anything. And then the second 25 was way harder, and just getting used to muscle fatigue, getting a good balance in between, staying with a good equilibrium. It's definitely hard.
So when you're training, are you going longer on a routine basis?
Routine basis, if I have my ideal training, it's probably between 100 and 120 miles a week with anywhere between 20 and 27 mile long run.
Okay.
In college, I would never go above 20. And so out of college, I started going 27, which I think is a really good distance every week.
Mixing in roads too on that, or mostly on the trails?
I have a phenomenal loop and a couple other loops that's mainly all trails. During the summer, Rocky Mountain National Park, drive up there, 40-minute drive, and take a 4-hour run up there.
Awesome.
Go do some 14ers, stuff like that.
Are you still keeping in some of the traditional elements of your college training background?
Absolutely. I still run a bit faster probably than a lot of guys out there. So sub 7 miles for most of my training. I do strides. I think that's really important. I think that's a lot of people in the ultra community are starting to realize that doing strides is phenomenal, and you should actually be doing that. An up-tempo run on Wednesday or an up-tempo run Sunday.
Hitting the track or just a sort of tempo effort stuff?
Tempo effort stuff, a threshold kind of.
Okay.
Something closer to 5 minutes.
Do you stick to the roads on that? What do you mean?
Track, roads, or trail. We have stuff like Bobolink Trail in Boulder, which is just a flat gravel trail, and you can get a 6-mile effort in there really easily.
Gotcha. Well, all that's put you on the stage for build the foundation for now.
Yeah.
You're out there today. You're running with Max King.
Yeah, it was so good to run with Max. He's just a chill fellow, and we're out there just putting down some good pace, and it was easy. It was great to run with someone. It was almost like even if I felt great, or felt better than him, which I don't think at any point until the very end I did, I wouldn't want to leave him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that? That's so different than I'm sure the feeling you had when running a 10K on the track. Like, if you could drop anybody in any instant,
you go. The intensity is so much higher for sure.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I
only saw you at 2 places in that first half, but yeah, were you guys together then entire first 25 miles?
Yeah, we were within 30 meters of each other for the first 30 miles probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at mile 25 when I saw you guys were still, you weren't chatting with each other, but when I was interacting with you, you were joking around, having a good time still.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a little more intensity at mile 30. When did things start to drop off for you? Did you have a rough patch?
Yeah, totally. I had a rough patch from like 28 to 38, just really dehydrated, which I drank a lot of more like salted water for this, and I probably should have drank a little more dilute solution of it. Mm-hmm. It's an experiment.
Yeah.
It's my third ultra. I'm learning a lot from it, and I learned that I probably need to add some more water into it. So when Sage passed me, he passed me around 34, I'm guessing, just twice the stride length, and it was known he was going, and I wasn't going to be able to follow him at that time. Yeah.
When did it come back?
Started coming back around right before the second to last aid station, 39, and then felt great from 40 to probably 45, then again from 47 to 50.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you ended up catching Max.
I did catch Max. Max had a rougher patch than I did, and it was a little later on, and he recovered very well and actually finished strong for the last 5. It was just his middle 7 before that. That was roughest for him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking earlier. Your next big race on the calendar is Transvolcania.
That's a big race. Yeah.
That is a big race. You thought this was big?
That's gonna be.
At least it'll feel bigger.
It'll feel bigger. There's a lot of people who show up to that race.
Yeah.
Not just racers, but spectators.
Yeah, here where you all can't see, but there's, with spectators, maybe 300 people. We're having tamales. It's in the middle of a field, kind of.
Yeah.
It's totally chill and relaxed. The finish line in Transvolcania, there's going to be thousands,
which is really cool.
of people.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And there's going to be people from other islands there during the race on the course.
Yeah.
You're chilling and having barbecue, having beer, whatever. They don't run out runners. They're just
having fun and enjoying the sport, which is pretty cool. Europe is. I hope North America continues in this general trend towards getting bigger and bigger, more accepting and more excited about the sport. Because of the way it is in Europe, just from talking to some of my fellow teammates over the last week, it's a lot bigger, and it just generates more fun probably.
Yeah, and I think the possibility exists in the U.S. Just in the last month, there's the Killian article in the New York Times Magazine.
Yeah.
New York Times, I think, had an article on Barkley.
Yeah.
ESPN had an article on Ellie. Just yesterday, NPR had a story on the Marathon des Sables.
Yeah.
And Fox News had a segment on the Marathon des Sables.
Cool.
20 seconds, but
yeah, it's showing up.
It's showing up on the radar. It's a blip now.
Yeah, and then you have guys like Dakota out there who are trying to do some cool things and bring sky running over here, which I think has huge possibility out here for if it takes off right and you get the permits and you have to go through the bureaucracy of the U.S. But you do it right, it's a little more intense, a little more adrenaline fueled.
It's sellable to the American public.
It's a good idea. Yeah, definitely. Mud races are already so huge that it's actually similar in the mentality a little bit right there.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 years, those people who started doing mud runs first are whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get in some rugged mountain running.
I hope it takes off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Congratulations on your
very much.
3 great races.
Yeah. Been lucky so far.
And
great.
Well, I guess there's one more question I have on the race side. Mm-hmm. You got a spot in Western States if you want it.
Oh, I'm taking it.
You're running Western States.
I got to be twice as tough as this race, but yeah, I'm going to be out there.
That's awesome.
I plan on it at least. Everything can change in the next 2 months, but it's there.
When Craig Thornley sends you that invitation, you'll be like,
yeah, Because
going.
who knows where I am in 2 years? I want to be around this sport, but maybe I'll be in something shorter.
Yeah.
At least want to say I've done a 100-miler. And in North America, that's the 100-miler to do.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to seeing you on the Palma and Squaw
you.
Valley in a couple months.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
See you.
One quick bonus question for you. Something one we haven't seen in the ultra scene here in the U.S. is pure runners in the sense of coming from high school, college, track and cross country background, and especially at the D1 level. I mean, just thinking about today's race, the three guys battling up at the front, two Cornells and University of Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, good programs at D1 schools. Do you think that's a trend that is
It could happen. Yeah, like with the popularity of the sport growing, like you can draw some more of these talented runners.
I mean, I'd never really heard of an example like you gave of your college roommate. Was he? And he was a runner as well. Was he on the
Ted? Yeah.
Ted. He was on the team as well.
He ran from Michigan.
Oh, he ran from Michigan. Okay.
Yeah. He's a good miler. He's a fast guy.
It's one D1 runner telling another guy who's just out of college, like, here, I'm running this race. Like, that's something that hasn't been seen before. Like, there's a light switch of these guys who maybe in the past were drawn to, I did good in college, time to, move on the cherry blossom or peach, all the big road races. And
it depends. Yeah. And some guys will, some guys won't.
Yeah.
But maybe more in the future will.
Any, being in Boulder, you see any people who are sort of from that background eyeing the sport?
I mean, sure, there are guys, but they're also like have dreams of making it still in their given profession where they are. I see guys that could be great in the sport, just phenomenal runners as well as, great adventurers, guys who love getting up in the mountains when they can. But they're guys who are 23, 24, 25. At that age, if you have dreams of a 5K too, like that's the age to do it. So it might be in a couple of years.
They have that draw to the mountains, but that draw can be answered at 28 or 33 or 43.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's great to see, there's been some worry in the sport of, people coming from that, professional runner. I mean, even if it's high school and college, but, professional runner category and then moving into ultras. But, it's really reassuring to, have people like you who love the mountains and love the trails and they're doing, you're all doing it, seems for the right reasons.
Oh, yeah. It's a blast out here.
Yeah.
Well,
cool, man.
Thank you.
So great hanging out and getting to chat.
Of course.
Yeah.